तेरे मेरे दरमिया है बातें अनकही, तू वहाँ है मैं यहाँ क्यों साथ हम नहीं। तेरे मेरे दरमिया है बातें अनकही, तू वहाँ है मैं यहाँ क्यों साथ हम नहीं। फैसले जो किए फासले ही मेरे राहें जुदा क्यों हो गई। ना तू गलत ना मैं सही, ले जा मुझे साथ तेरे, मुझको ना रहना साथ मेरे। ले जा मुझे साथ तेरे, मुझको ना रहना साथ मेरे। ले जा मुझे, ले जा मुझे। सुन मेरे खुदा बस इतनी सी मेरी दुआ, लौटा दे हम सफर मेरा, जाएगा कुछ नहीं तेरा। तेरे ही दर पे हूँ खड़ा, जाऊँ तो जाऊँ मैं कहाँ। तकदीर को बदल मेरी, मुझ पे होगा करम तेरा।
How lovely. That's absolutely beautiful. This is, of course, your new song, Tere Mere from Chef, which you've composed, Amaal, and you've sung, Armaan. Yes. It's just such a beautiful melody at a time when it seems like melodies have gone out of Hindi film music. It just seems like all we hear now are remixes and dance music and EDM. It just seems like melodies have gone away, which is why something like this is so refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is very true. It's just everyone that I'm meeting, even just people who are not from the industry, normal people, just they're like, sir, there's only remakes coming. And they're all like, now this new thing, I maybe opened a can of worms by doing Suraj Dubey. I brought in that EDM style. But somewhere we have a tendency to overkill everything. And if a baby doll has worked, there has to be 10 of them.
True.
One Suraj Dubey has worked, I only get 10 of them as references. Right. So I think that is not happening. It's also not that the composers cannot make. I think they're really talented composers who've got amazing original songs. The new Lord, old Lord, whatever. I don't want to categorize, but everyone has really good original songs. They're not getting the opportunity to put it out.
You know, I was going to ask you that, is it that producers just come to you and say, we want more because it works? Or is it that a little bit of laziness has set in?
I think creative freedom is a little curtailed in the industry. Like I've seen it from a different perspective. I see it from a singer's perspective.
Yeah.
So I see the composer really struggling to get his baby out in his, he has a certain design for the song. And if that does not come out, I've seen like the composers getting really irritated because of that.
Right.
And somehow the other, the public holds the composer responsible that he doesn't know enough music or he's put out, bad material.
Correct. He takes the ultimate responsibility.
His intention was not that. And there's so many pressures on him. Actually, we are very lucky singers. We just come sing the song and take the money and go home.
Right.
And then sing it on shows also.
Correct.
Where's my 20%? But I feel you're right about it being lazy is not the only thing. They're just getting complacent ki ye chal raha hai.
Especially with the remixes, I feel like that definitely sort of reeks of laziness. I mean, whether it's the producers, whether it's the composers, it just seems like that's the easy thing to do.
The effort of making an original song, they don't want to put in that effort.
They're getting complacent generally, even for anyone who approaches you, a producer or director. They have this set thing ki this is working, till we don't destroy this thing, let's just milk
kill it till,
that tendency is spoiling every album. Like see, when it started in a Bachna, Vishal Shekhar did one title song like that. For 3 years, no one was doing that.
That's true.
So that novelty is finished. Then maybe in that Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, there was Parda, you know, those,
Yeah.
it was nicely done. Na? Every album has not
Every
even one, there are
Everyone
three
expects that
remixes.
there's some old song going to be rehashed in
I
this
mean,
one.
you're guilty of that as well, no? Most
Yes,
recently, of course, in
completely.
Noor, Gulabi Aankhein.
Yeah, I've destroyed an original, you can say. I have no problem in saying that. But I still run away from taking the same thing as the old.
Sure.
Maybe I just took the hook line and I didn't want to, you know, spoil Main Lut Gaya, because that memory will get spoiled if people will start killing me for that. So if I do a remake, I really try my best ki there has to be 80% me and 20% of that original which people love.
Like the hook basically
Yeah,
is the
something
main,
which
the
is
main
their
catchphrases from the old song.
Right,
But
right.
the rest of the skeleton of the song is a new
Is a
body.
new-
Like I did Tumhe Apna Banane.
True.
I got a call also from the original composer saying we loved what you made.
Correct. This is from Hit Story.
Yeah,
Right.
for me that is very important. Even doing a remake like there was this Airlift was a film. There was a Punjabi pop single called Soch by Hardy Sandhu. I completely revamped it. I got a new stanza which was कुछ भी नहीं है ये जहां तू है तो है इसमें जिंदगी, and arranged it differently.
And that song is lovely. Yeah.
For me, and today when I see the original artist call me and say, you know, I am singing your version
Right.
on my shows because people are loving your additions to it, that's when I'm happy. Then otherwise, I'm really saying no to remakes. I've almost lost a lot of work because of that, but I'm happy. I want to do original work.
Okay. Okay. You know, I want to talk to you about working together. I mean, both of you have said that that there's a lot of arguments, there's there's disagreements, there's clashes that happen frequently. But you've also said that you really understand each other's temperament, you understand each other's the depth of each other's work. Does that come from the fact that you're very close as brothers, or does that come from the fact that you're both sensitive artists?
Actually, we listen to a lot of music together, and that kind of has given us this idea of how we need to do our music and how I need to be singing and how he's composing his songs. And we feed off from each other's musical inspirations and stuff like that. So he has had a set of inspirations and he composes a certain song. Then he tells me, you know, listen to this artist. I'd like you to see the vibe of that artist and see if you can imbibe that in your singing. Not copy that artist, but imbibe something.
The spirit of it.
So we have these discussions where we're talking about how to go about this song, and I don't think I have that with any other composer because we share music together.
Right.
Like his iPod playlist is my iPod playlist as
Okay.
well. Not that we use iPods now.
Right.
But it's just been that always. I think his influence, he's learnt Hindustani classical. I have inherited that from my grandfather. I never did formal training in Hindustani. I was lucky enough till 15, 16. I grew up in a house where I had Sardar Malik sitting in a harmonium or piano doing his Hindustani meets jazz. You know, I learned all that from natural things.
Yeah.
He has that hold of true Hindustani
He
music.
introduced me to Western
And
music. actually.
I did Trinity College
Right.
and all that. So we always exchange notes. So I think he helps me also learn new things as a composer, and he listens to new stuff and he changes his singing. It helps him with other composers also.
And somewhere he knows that at this point I will be doing such a variation in my song. Like he knows this is an Armaan thing to do.
Right.
You know, and I know that this, like the composition, there's a cross line in the song which leads to the chorus. I know that this is the way Amaal would compose it. So those kind of things, it's because we're brothers as well. I think that's.
So then when do the clashes and the disagreements happen? What do those happen over?
The minute we reach that
We reach the studio, yeah.
The minute that door
Like today I
opens,
told him I'm recording a song, I don't want you. And
My
he also
song,
said I also don't want
I said
you.
I don't want to come also because I've already sung the scratch in my voice. And I've done everything, lyrics, backup, sab maine karke. I said, now either you replicate or beat me.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm singing this song. This is the challenge. But there's one thing I want to say about him as a singer, that I'm not saying this because he's my brother, but there is something in his voice and the way he approaches every song. I've heard so many composers call me on this when he's dubbed for them.
Right.
He's worked with Amit Trivedi or Salim Suleiman.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people recently who've been singing for South. And I feel he understands the DNA of a song very quickly, because today you're expected to do that. You know, it's very tough. Pehle, there would be like 10 days rehearsals.
Correct.
फिर musicians आएंगे.
Now it's like 2 hours, come,
nothing.
finish the song and go, because people
today-
have studio time and you have to like finish it in
precious,
that. in that.
It's very tough for someone forget him, any singer to come and in 2 hours sing something that you've been living for 6 months
Sure.
to understand कि मैंने ये emotion से सोचा. That thing is impeccable. He gets the DNA. And I think that is his biggest weapon.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, good one.
You're both in your 20s, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, you seem way more mature than your years.
Actually, we started work very early.
Sure.
So I think that kind of has hardened us in many ways. And we've not been the people to, hang out, go to parties, clubs, not too often.
I still did a little bit of that.
He still did, because I started work when I was like 11 or 12.
Wow.
He was on a reality show at 11.
Yeah.
At 10.
Little Champs, of course. Yeah.
So my journey has been very different. Like, I never had many friends, and because I didn't get time to meet them and stuff. So that personal life thing had always been at the backseat. Because of that, I kind of saw life in a very different way. My parents are telling me, now success will come, you have to know how to handle it and stuff like that. So for a person my age to be able to grasp all that was a lot of information. But somehow I think I've understood all of that very early and in a good way.
I think mentally he's 45, huh? Like I'm still 21.
Like even on social media, I have these thoughts that I put out quotes and stuff. So people call me Baba AM. Actually, I gave that name to myself. So, but not the different kind of Baba. I'm only quotes and all. Yeah.
Was there ever a problem of being taken seriously because you're so young?
Completely.
Yeah.
I have. You see this beard? I need to tell everyone.
It's there,
like,
just
if everyone who meets me, like when I tell them my age, they don't believe it. But this has been a psyche for my brain. I started, like I remember dad was in 2004 or 5. My grandfather fell ill and he was like, I have to be with my dad, you do your thing. And that's when I went out. I already was, that composer was eager. You know, I was making tunes and all. But वो face देख के दाढ़ी के बिना everyone is a little child. I remember there was this incident. I had done the trailer for Tere Bin Laden, Abhishek Sharma, Aarti Shetty and their production. And before that I'd done music for Adlabs Imagica. All the rides and all, I had composed the background score for them. So she recommended for this. I remember the director coming to my house. I opened the door for him. He sat there for 45 minutes waiting कि boss आएंगे. And I was so I sat there. I was clean shaved. I'm 19 at this point of time, and I started working and all. He's like, music director sir कब आएंगे? I said sir मैं ही हूँ, and I'm the one only who's going to do your trailer. So I started this whole thing. I wanted people to at least
take him seriously. Yeah.
Maybe it's the age, and I believe this because now I'm 27. Like I'm starting to feel old. You're lucky, but 7-8 years back when I started trying to make these inroads as a composer, as a music producer, it was getting there. It was easier, but as this music director, this was not very open. There was only certain 5-6 names, and
it's hard to break into.
Yeah, and there was this, and they were doing fabulous work, unparalleled work from 2004 to 15. And there was this no risk-taking way. Today, I'm seeing not me, any composer or any artist or singer-songwriter has a good song, and if you reach out, people want to use a good song. Today, now it's more than just a branding. It's like, what do you have? Which I think is now easy for a lot of people to make inroads now than 7-8 years. That's all this and trying to look like I'm a composer.
Did you have the same problem when you look like a baby and you are
even
what,
if you
22?
try?
So many people ask me like, how are you singing for Saif and Salman?
True.
And, like, I think I've used a technique where I've tried to mature my voice when I'm singing for actors like that, and I be myself when I'm singing for like a Siddharth Malhotra or Varun.
Right.
So yeah, that's like a singing thing. But yeah, everyone looks at me and feels that, Acha, you've sung this song? Like Main Rahu Ya Na Rahu, there was one song of mine which I had done as a single for Imran Hashmi.
Right.
And people heard that song, like uncle aunties come up to me and say, मतलब बताओ कौन से गाने गाए आपने and all that.
Correct.
So some of them didn't know me. So I was like, I've sung मैं रहूँ ना. वो आपने गाया?
This happened with me on the same song.
Like they think Armaan Malik, the name must be some 35-year-old
little older,
uncle coming into the studio and singing. When
35,
they don't,
not the uncle. Don't be mean.
No, I'm just saying because I'm.
Because he's so young.
Are you please, wait, let me explain.
Go for it.
So they don't see that that voice coming from this size, this packet, whatever. I don't know. They don't expect it. So I have to, make them sit down and understand that this is me. This voice is coming from here only,
Right.
and this is Armaan Malik. This is Armaan Malik.
It happened on the same song. There was an uncle who called me. I don't know where, whatever. He must be at least 70 plus, and he really liked this song because this had the 60s old school charm. What composition I tried. It was a tribute to my grandfather's style. So he called me and I answered, and he said, Amaal Malik को phone दो. I said, मैं ही हूँ सर. He said, नहीं तुम कैसे सोचते, तुम तो कोई बच्चे लग रहे हो वो जिन्होंने मैं रहूँ बनाया. I said, sir, I have only made that song, and it just took 15 minutes to get that.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I like it that people don't expect it. It's more fun to get that.
And most of the people working in the industry alongside us also are way older than us.
Sure.
So people somehow perspective is like they don't take us seriously.
Correct.
But I guess now with the kind of body of work that we have put
Right.
out,
I think once you put out work,
Yeah, it's
one
always
knows that they're not dealing with children.
yeah.
Right. You know, of all the work that you've done together, I have to say my favorite song is the song from Hero.
मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा.
Main Hu Hero Tera. Now, so I want to ask you about that song, but I thought before we do that, if you guys could give us a few lines from.
And just grab the guitar. One of my songs which I love. Composer version. आँखों के पन्नों पे मैंने लिखा था 100 दफा लफ्जों में जो इश्क था हुआ ना होठों से बयां खुद से नाराज हूँ क्यों बेआवाज हूँ मेरी खामोशियाँ है सजा दिल है ये सोचता फिर भी नहीं पता किस हक से कहूँ बता कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा
I love that song. I absolutely love that song. You know what I want to ask you is, you of course recorded the original version of the song, and then you all got Salman Khan to do his version of the song, and that stuck. That became the version that everyone listened to because it was a novelty. It wasn't bad at all. It was a novelty. But he's not a singer. You are the singer. Did you feel a little frustrated that your version got lost in a sense till you had to record your own video, which is beautiful, which, you know, just to kind of stake claim on that song?
Actually, what had happened is I had sung the song. It was in the movie, and it was on Suraj and Athia.
Yeah.
By the end of the production and by the time the movie was made, Salman Bhai was so
addicted.
in love with the song. He was like,
It is a lovely song.
I got to do this song. I got to do it for the fans. And he got into the studio. He told Amal, just book the studio and let's record it. And he told me to stay out. He didn't want me to be there because he doesn't want singers around.
It's like मैं अरमान के सामने नहीं गाऊंगा. I just want you and me, and that's how he'll record.
And the version came out. मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा became a huge song. And obviously when the jukebox released, people saw my version as well. And the success of the first version brushed upon my version as well.
Okay.
Because the song was hit. Now, obviously, when people hear different versions, they like that as well.
Sure.
Then I somehow felt, because so many people are saying, so which songs of his I've sung Main Hu Hero Tera. Isn't that Salman Bhai's version? I have also done a version which is in the movie.
Correct.
So, but people don't realize all that.
Also
so
because
then,
the film didn't do well, so that
then suddenly I realized I think I should do a video so that people just have a recognition that this is the face to the voice and this is the he's also done a version.
Right.
And hence I did that video, and then it became like this. So till date in my concerts, that's the first song that I sang. My entry is with Main Hu Hero Tera.
Okay.
So I think it's a huge song for me, and I give all the credit to Salman Bhai because he made this song big. in the like in some other proportion altogether. Definitely.
I think it's more about, he needed it was his first production
Yeah.
also in a way, and he was really looking after everything, so he didn't want anything to go wrong. And plus there were so many of those cases, things,
Correct.
everything, and within that madness, he still took out time. He's like, I don't know what may happen when.
Yeah.
I want to do this so that my contribution to this film is 100% and I've given it.
And actually, he was launching
that is the-
Amaal, me,
Everyone.
Suraj, Athia,
There's so
all of
many
us. There's so
big-
many things on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So he needed to give his push.
For me
You have an
also,
old relationship with the family, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jai
Dads
Ho was
com-
your big,
yeah.
and of course
even
your
dads
dad
composed
is,
a lot
yeah,
for
yeah.
their films. Jai Ho was our debut together.
He's seen us grow like from babies, like he's seen us like that. So yeah, there's definitely a great fond relationship with him.
Right. Amaal, you famously spoke out when Love Sinha and his sister Sonakshi kind of went after Armaan for really retweeting what Kailash Kher said, which made a lot of sense at the time. This was last year when Kailash
I gave
Kher...
a very long, sensible post.
True,
on this.
it actually made a lot of sense. I mean, the whole issue was about, why aren't singers and why aren't musicians the opening acts for big concerts, big performances? Why are actors, in a sense, invading the space for musicians? Did that make you unpopular within the film business? Because this is famously a business where people don't speak their mind.
Yes. So see, I think the most important thing is that a lot of people will maybe in turn not want to associate with me on speaking out. It happens. I even spoke about awards, a
That's
lot
true.
of things. And I think now is the time for me to speak, because a lot of people don't speak when they're getting good work, when they're doing well. 40 years later, when I've done it all, I have my own places and I'm relaxing on a farmhouse, that's not when I want to speak. Then so I went through it, agreed to all the shit.
Correct.
So I want to set something which maybe 20 years later will bring a spark in artists. It's not, I'm not doing it for myself. Everyone feels it.
Right.
None of my co-composers, contemporaries will speak out. I spoke out. This is not about Sonakshi and Love Sinha.
Correct.
That is a very small thing.
Correct.
That was something that I got dragged into. I was not even involved.
Right.
The awards and all those things were something where I needed to speak, and I spoke. Sonakshi and Love Sinha's thing just went out of proportion. I just felt I just got tagged into a tweet for no reason. It was his.
Correct. You retweeted Kailash Kher's
Plus,
tweet.
I just feel I personally don't have anything against her. I don't think even she has. That's not the thing. A general statement started becoming personal for them, and when someone, I'm not standing for my brother. He has his own thing. He can fight her, him, 10 others. When someone personally attacks me, coming to you, I've copied.
Correct. He insinuated that you'd copied songs.
And that I can't sing live.
I agree. There are many such allegations in Bollywood to several top composers also. And first thing is, out of the 51 songs that I've released, I know I've not copied anything. You prove it. I could have easily slammed him with a defamation case right there if for misbehaving like that. So I took it on myself from that point. Till then I was like, Armaan kya hai, mereko kya karna hai. When you take an artist out and you try to say ki you have done this, you don't have any backup to prove that I did that. So when you start making things personal, that's when I was in Krabi, I was chilling, I was having a holiday. When that personal comment came out, you all have copied songs, this, so that, you start feeling ki listen, now this is going somewhere when you need to get this person to shut up. And whoever it is, I am that. It's okay. A lot of people think you're not. ऐसे काम खराब हो जाएगा.
Correct.
कौन producer तुम्हें?
Also, it's pretty brave because right at that time you'd just done Noor, right? You just composed the songs for
completely.
So it's like, wow, I mean, this guy's
See, I feel if I get into the depths of how I did Noor also and how many things have happened in that, it's a different ball game.
Okay.
I personally, we are a very normal, cordial equation. My only question on this is that forget him. When Kailash Kher, such a big artist, has spoken about it, he didn't tag you. He said, this is how it happens. He retweeted him. Let's take it as a point of view.
And I also said that,
this shit
that
happens.
singers and musicians should be given the first opportunity. True. When such big concerts are coming.
Correct. That makes perfect sense.
You are showing that India
has only
doesn't
actors
have
to offer.
That's right.
नहीं, actors भी हो. आप लोग गाओ एक गाना. It's not a problem. You're singing for your films. It's helping us. I'm more than happy when a Shraddha Kapoor sings my Sab Tera or a Salman Khan sings my hero.
The question was about the concerts.
Right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When a concert comes in, we have an opportunity with Justin Bieber or Swedish House Mafia. Forget us performing. You have an Arijit Singh. You have a Sonu Nigam. You have KK. You have so many legends of this country and even newer talents. Do one act of an actor. put out a concert for them so that they don't go back with this vision, oh, India has that music. No, even we can produce just as good as y'all.
Right.
And create historic numbers.
But that
and all,
imagery doesn't
everything.
go out that
Correct.
way.
That
does
is
it?
Correct.
that is happening wrong, and I feel it's a conscious mistake here, where you are picking on a younger artist. If you had really the guts, all of you should have picked on Kailash Kher.
Correct. He
You
was the
can-
one who actually said it
I have
first.
due respect for him,
Yeah.
but why didn't you pick on Kailash Kher? Because picking on him is not getting you eyeballs.
Right.
First of all. And second, it'll put you down because he's a legendary Hindustani big singer.
Right.
So you will not take that panga there. My question was only that, ki let's not get personal. We have not tagged you. We have not spoken about, and I'm not there. I'm sleeping somewhere in some island. Why are you involving me? She misconfused him with me and blah, blah, blah. Everything. I think we should let it go. Simply the minute it got personal, I did my thing, put it out, and it's okay. It's ended. It's fine now.
You also spoke out quite strongly against the sham of awards functions.
Yeah.
Again, it is something that people feel, because you talk to people privately, you talk to actors, you talk to filmmakers, you talk to music directors,
Yeah.
and they do feel it's a big sham. I mean, you actually were quite brave.
And I didn't speak about only music.
That's
I spoke
right.
about everyone
You did.
else.
You actually spoke about actors. You spoke about how deserving artists aren't nominated because they don't have a high enough profile as many undeserving stars do. You also actually said, you also said that your own score for Baghi didn't deserve to be nominated. Again, reflection of a lot of maturity at that age. But did it get you into trouble? Do things like that get you into trouble?
I think it gave me an amazing break in life. I got 6 months of letting go of amazing films, which for me were not amazing. And I'm happy. I think speaking that, a lot of people want, sent me on a holiday. कि नहीं यार ये बहुत सही बात ज़्यादा बोलता है. But I think that is very important, because even there na, I think Dangal was an amazing album.
Yeah.
I spoke about that, what Preetham did. Obviously, Ae Dil Hai Mushkil was the album of the year. But when we have something which has maintained the script and commercially reached out, you didn't nominate that. I never spoke ki, why didn't you nominate Dhoni? I'm not talking about my music.
Correct.
Why you didn't put Airlift? None of that. But you have not put out a Raja Menon who debuted in an Airlift. There's nothing for Neerja's music also. There's no nomination for a Manoj Bajpayee. There's so many things that I don't even remember. It's that old for me. I get youngsters coming to assist me and all, and everyone says, sir, singer banna. I said, why? Music director ko kaun पूछता है? This is a सवाल. Next thing is कि when you do a good album, that doesn't reach out. When I spoke to Preetham also about it, and he was like, क्या लिख दिया? What is this and all? I was like, the most simple thing is कि nominate an artist, whatever, music ho, singer ho, acting ho. Giving them that thing, give them the sense of thinking, chalo, I have done something, usne suna, the world is listened to it, I can do better.
Right.
That is all you need. Forget the winning. That if
The
you don't
nomination
do.
is a
It should be a
boost.
reward as
It's a
well,
boost.
right?
Yeah.
Do you get into a lot of trouble because he's so opinionated?
Always.
So many people tell me, oh, I really love the post you wrote about awards. And I was like, that is not me, that is my brother. And uske wajah se main trouble. And actually, when I saw the post, I called up Aman and said,
What is this?
what is this? Have you really done this? Have you really written so honestly and stuff? You know, because it can get you in a problematic
Especially
situation
in
in our industry.
You're not
especially.
encouraged to speak your mind.
Yeah.
And here there are so many things left unspoken, and everyone wants to speak these things. It's not that no one wants to speak these things.
True.
But they don't have that one person who's coming out and saying this, because people think they'll jeopardize their career by doing so.
Yeah.
Which I'm really... I had two minds about what he had done. I was in one, I was feeling that he's done such a great post. It inspires other people as well.
It was just not politically correct for a lot of people.
And
But
then I
think
was
all
on the
those-
other hand, I was feeling that somehow the work might suffer, or I think in that way.
Of course.
He's we both have different personalities. I'm like the guy who'll still be a little safe when I'm writing stuff. I'll be a little diplomatic.
Right.
But he's unabashed. Like he'll go all out.
And I think after that post, after that I've completely gone off writing things till I don't feel it. Work will always speak, and the whole thing, there's this, a lot of composers also came, opportunities chali jayengi, those things, that is there. I understand. Even I met a Sajid Nadadwala whose film it was, Baghi. I called him and I apologized. I told him, I said, I'm sorry, sir, for that. But I had to do this.
I felt
I'm
that way,
really
right,
sorry
right.
if it has personally attacked your production. I even called Meet Brothers, Ankit, who had done this score. I said, I don't believe we deserved this. I said, we were not better than Dangal. I said, there may be many other albums. I said, I'm speaking for my song. Sab Tera was one of the most successful songs from Baghi. Still, I've said this because I felt that was a more deserving album. I said, I'm sorry if you felt bad, but I had to do this.
Correct.
I'm not deleting this post. It's not. A lot of people say that and they delete it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. Ya to aap dalo mat.
Right.
I believe we've done it. Now just leave it.
Stand by it,
And I
yeah.
think I got a lot of support from real people. I don't want support from the industry. I'm not looking out for that. I know I'm a little scary for setting a very bad example for composers maybe who want to make their inroads in Bollywood. But now the industry or generally people are getting very real. They know that this whole Ji Huzuri is not the vibe to get work. If your work is good and maybe
speaks
I'm
for
a
itself.
little edgy on that level, but I'm me.
Right.
I can't change that.
You know, you guys had such a good year last year. It
Yeah.
was an incredible year in
Yeah.
terms of just the variety, the versatility. I mean, I'm just Suraj Duba Hai, Chul, which
Yeah.
these just became anthems. Saw Asman, film didn't do well, but what an incredible song. Buddhu Saman, you know, y'all do work a lot together. Is that important? I mean, is he the first singer that comes to mind? Is
He's
there a,
unluckily now he's a
So
big
I'll
singer.
tell you what happens is, so Amaal composes a song,
Okay.
then he records a few singers that he feels he wants
I
to
always
work
compose and then choose. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
plan ki this one will sing.
The tunes
Arijit.
select the singers
Yeah,
for him.
It's never.
What happens
The
is,
singer.
by the end of the whole process, somehow the other directors and producers don't like those voices which are coming to the song, and they're like, why don't you try Armaan? So then the song U-turns and comes back to me,
right.
where I said,
And then
Amaal,
I
you-
get pissed.
Like
Chis, ye
many
kya ho
people
gaya?
say, like you know, I'm his brother, I must be telling, Are dena gana, dena.
Right. Nepotism, yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Nice.
So what happens is I stay quiet when the song is composed and I know it's a great song. I'm like inside I feel I want this song,
Yeah.
definitely. But what happens is because he's a composer, he needs to have the freedom to work with all singers,
sure.
and I need to have the freedom to work with all composers. And
Right.
this is what Dad had laid out in the start of our careers, that y'all
don't
both will
do
be
a duo,
different.
yeah.
Y'all will not be a composer duo.
correct?
Because
You're not a package deal, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I want you to be a singer, I want you to be a composer and work with everyone. So somehow or the other those songs came back to me, and hence we had so many songs together, and those songs have done brilliantly.
But I think
when
it's
both
a
of us-
special combination.
It's a
Yeah.
special
For sure.
combination. All
Yeah.
the songs like
Blessed.
we see Bol Dona Zara,
Yeah.
Main Rahun Ya Na Rahun, Main Hu Hero Tera, Saw Asman, Buddhu Saman. I can go on, but
Kaun Tujhe Jab
each
Tak
song
Doni.
is such a special collaboration, and they've gone on to become hits. So then people come and tell, you know, we want this song now. That we want Armaan to sing it, and this is how we want it.
But
So
it never
like that.
happens that I really respect that about him as an artist. He'll never force me that mere ko hi gana hai. He understands my vision. Like I've worked with my songs have had Arijit sing
Yeah.
a lot. They've had Mika, they've had Vishal Dadlani. So many, Salim has collaborated with us.
Yeah.
So I really compose first, and then I decide ki acha this might sound good in a Mohit Chauhan. You know, so I want to diversify because that's how music will sound different. Suddenly coming with 20 songs with him or any other singer suddenly makes my music sound monotone.
Right.
I get a little wary of that, and I don't like doing that. So you know, they are really bent about him because he's this new sensation with young girls and
Yeah.
everyone going crazy, views, this, that. But if he's right for the song and he makes the cut and he gets really bashed while recording, he feels, because when he with other composers, I have got calls of saying, wow, he really killed it on our song.